Life, death, and the mystery that lies between them are not puzzles waiting for a clever answer. They are experiences to be lived, depths to be plumbed, and secrets that defy the neat labels our minds insist on applying. No answer can ever capture their true nature, for the moment we try to pin them down with words, we lose the very essence of what makes them profound. They are not two separate enigmas, but two doors opening onto the same boundless secret, and whatever we say will always miss the point. The truth about life and death isn't something that can be handed down in neat packages of theory or argument. It can only be discovered by plunging headlong into the experience and letting it transform you from within. When you look at life, you might think it can be known and measured, and the same with death. Yet nothing you say can ever do justice to their vastness. The mind, always eager to reach conclusions, insists on framing these mysteries in terms of questions and answers. But answers are merely shadows of what they truly are. To know life or death, you must live, and eventually you must die. It is only through that journey that the mystery unfolds. All the answers given by the wise, whether from Mahavira, Buddha, Christ, or any other revered figure, are ultimately not for you to possess. They are hints, directions, or invitations to jump into the mystery yourself. Relying on someone else's answer is like trying to capture the taste of a feast by merely reading the recipe. True knowledge arises only from experiencing the fullness of the banquet. I recall a tale, one cherished by Ramakrishna, about a great festival held by the sea. Thousands gathered on the beach, engaged in a heated debate about whether the ocean was measurable or immeasurable, whether it had a bottom or if it was infinite in depth. Amidst this clamor, there appeared a man made entirely of salt who declared, "Wait, I will dive into the ocean and find out for myself." And so he leapt into the sea. Days turned into weeks, and eventually, the people on shore, tired of waiting, assumed he would never return. In truth, the man of salt melted away completely as he descended, dissolving into the very ocean he sought to measure. His journey was not in vain, though, for it taught an essential lesson. If you try to capture the immeasurable with the limited tools of the mind, you are bound to lose yourself. We are all in our essence made of salt. And if we take the plunge into the mystery without abandoning our need for precise answers, we too will dissolve. Yet if you remain on the shore, debating and analyzing, you will never know. You will only trade in theories that are mere substitutes for true experience. This hesitation, this fear of losing oneself in the unknown, is the very barrier that prevents us from discovering our true nature. Our minds, conditioned by habit and the comfort of certainty, clamor for security. We cling to familiar answers and established doctrines because the unknown is dangerous. But that same unknown is where the wonder lies, the place where life unfolds in its rawest, most beautiful form. Instead of reducing life's mysteries to neat intellectual conclusions, we should learn to let go and simply be in awe. There is a power in relinquishing the need to understand every nuance, to have every question answered. When you do that, you open yourself up to the possibility of experiencing life as it truly is, vibrant, fluid, and ever-changing. Trusting your inner voice is key, even when it whispers that you should simply do nothing, sleep, eat, or play by the beach, without the constant pressure to perform or survive in a world that is, in many ways, a madhouse. There is no imperative to survive in the way society defines it, clinging to ambition, power, or material security. Instead, when you heed that quiet inner call, you begin to see that life is not about accumulating guarantees. It's about surrendering to the mystery, embracing the inherent insecurity of existence, and allowing yourself to be carried by the current of life, rather than fighting against it. True freedom comes not from having all the answers, but from being willing to let go of the need for them, to trust that the universe, in its vast and unpredictable wisdom, will protect and guide you if you simply allow yourself to be vulnerable. Yet the mind is a tricky companion. It craves knowledge and certainty, and it will relentlessly try to pin down the unknown with questions. But every question you ask about the mystery of life and death only adds layers to the illusion, turning wonder into a series of checklists and theories. Instead of transforming wonder into endless questioning, there is great value in preserving the childlike innocence of simply marveling at existence. When you remain open and unburdened by the need to rationalize, you allow the mystery to envelop you fully. That innocence is not ignorance. It is a profound receptivity to life's wonders that has been lost in the rush to grow up and to have everything figured out. Many of us become so comfortable with the safety of familiar answers that we never dare to venture inward. We adopt the answers handed down by others, by religious teachers, philosophers, or even our own parents, and we mistake these for true understanding. But those answers are not our own. They are borrowed, and while they may offer temporary solace, they can also imprison you. The moment you cling to any answer too tightly, you become a slave to it, and your spirit is stifled. To be truly free, you must be willing to let go of all answers, to drop the accumulated knowledge that weighs you down, and to be reborn in a state of wonder and openness. In that emptiness, you find the space where truth can reveal itself in its purest form. Consider the nature of trust in this context. It is not trust in an external promise or a safeguarded future, but a deep trust in your own capacity to experience life directly. When you trust your inner feelings, when you allow yourself to be guided by the simple, unadorned impulses of your heart, you step away from the clutches of fear. You begin to understand that the promise of security is an illusion, a mirage created by a mind that is afraid of its own dissolution. In truth, nothing can be taken with you. You come into this world empty-handed, and you will leave it the same way. This realization should not be a cause for despair, but rather a call to live with abandon, to embrace every moment as if it were a miracle. The journey inward is not without its challenges. It requires an act of courage, a willingness to let go of the ego, to dismantle the false structures that have confined you for so long. The process is akin to emptying out an overstuffed room so that something new can take its place. When you let go of all that you have learned, all that you have accumulated, you create a space within that is vast and pure, like an empty temple waiting to be filled with light. In that space, you may begin to sense the whisperings of truth, subtle yet profound. But beware, the language of the inner world is not the language of words. When you try to articulate what you have experienced, your language falls short, leaving only echoes of what was truly felt. It is in the silence that you come to understand, in the quiet moments when the mind finally rests, that you are touched by the mystery. There's a temptation to hold on to familiar patterns, to seek comfort in what is known. We build our lives around the promise of safety, through money, power, social status, and even through the various institutions we create, like religion and politics. These constructs promise security, but they also bind you to a narrow path, a predetermined route that leaves little room for spontaneity or true self-discovery. The more you invest in these external assurances, the more you risk becoming a prisoner of your own making, shackled by expectations and conditioned responses. Only when you release these constraints, when you let go of the desperate need to control the future, can you truly live in the present. This liberation from fear is not achieved by intellectual analysis or by accumulating more knowledge. It is achieved by a radical act of trust, a trust in the unknown, in the uncertain, in the mystery that is life. It is like standing at the edge of an infinite ocean and daring to take the plunge, even though you know that once you enter, you may never come back the same. Such a leap of faith requires that you surrender your preconceived notions of what is possible, that you allow yourself to be dissolved into the vast, uncharted depths of existence. And once you have taken that leap, you will discover that the mystery itself embraces you, that in the process of disappearing, you find a new, more authentic way of being. The essence of this trust lies in the realization that every moment is an invitation to let go, whether it is the joy of a spontaneous dance in the rain, the serene pleasure of watching the sunset over the ocean, or the profound silence of meditation when thought falls away. All these moments are opportunities to step away from fear and into the fullness of life. There is a freedom in being completely present, in allowing yourself to be carried along by the current of existence without clinging to the shore of certainty. In that state of openness, you become receptive to the infinite possibilities that life offers, and the rigid boundaries of the ego begin to melt away. There is also a playful side to this journey, a reminder that life is not meant to be taken entirely seriously. Like the humorous tale of Father Murphy and his donkey, sometimes the most profound lessons come wrapped in a cloak of laughter. The absurdity of our attempts to control and define everything, to measure the immeasurable, is laid bare in these light-hearted anecdotes. They remind us that in the grand scheme of things, our worries and our elaborate theories are as transient and insubstantial as the morning dew. Instead of clinging to them, we should allow ourselves to laugh, to dance, to be spontaneous. In that laughter lies a deep truth, that life, in all its uncertainty and unpredictability, is a celebration of the unknown. Trust, then, is not about having all the answers. It is about embracing the mystery and daring to live despite the uncertainties. It is about acknowledging that the mind, with all its endless questions and doubts, will never fully capture the vastness of existence. Instead of trying to reduce life and death to neat formulas, learn to dwell in the space of wonder. Let your heart remain open, your spirit unburdened by the need to know every detail. Allow yourself to be guided by that inner voice that whispers softly of possibility, that beckons you to let go of fear and to step into the infinite dance of life. The path to this kind of trust is not a linear journey with clear milestones or destinations. It is a fluid, ever-changing process of becoming more aware of who you are and what you truly desire. It requires that you dismantle the false identities you have clung to, the roles that have kept you confined, and the ideologies that have promised safety, but only delivered more fear. In shedding these layers, you reveal the core of your being, a core that is as vast and boundless as the sky itself. And in that boundlessness, you find that there is no need to fear the future, no need to worry about death, because every ending is simply the opening of another door in the great mystery of existence. When you finally learn to move within, not in a way dictated by fear, but in the playful, spontaneous way that love and joy inspire, you discover that true freedom lies in the surrender of control. As Rumi once urged, move not because fear compels you, but because the dance of life calls you to be light and free. It is in that movement, in that graceful surrender to the unknown, that you truly trust in the unfolding of life. You learn that every step, whether taken in certainty or in doubt, is part of a larger, incomprehensible tapestry that you are woven into from the moment you are born. Ultimately, the mystery of trust is the mystery of letting go, of dropping all the expectations, all the preconceived ideas, and simply being open to whatever arises. When you let go of the need to secure yourself with answers, you become free to experience the richness of each moment, to dive deep into the ocean of existence without the fear of dissolving. And in that surrender, you find a profound security, a stability that comes not from external guarantees, but from the deep, unshakable knowing that you are part of something far greater than yourself. In this state of pure, unoccupied presence, where the mind is empty and the heart is free, all fears, especially the fear of death, dissolve into the radiant light of eternal possibility. So, let yourself be led by the mystery. Do not be afraid to jump into the unknown, to trust that the universe will protect you even when you have nothing left to hold on to. Embrace the paradox that in surrendering your ego, you gain everything. In letting go of the need for certainty, you discover the true joy of being. Your journey inward is a dance with life and death, a play of shadows and light, a miraculous unfolding that invites you to become who you are meant to be. And in that dance, as you learn to trust the call of the unknown and to cherish every fleeting moment of wonder, you will come to know that the mystery itself is the truest form of existence, a truth that liberates you from the prisons of thought, the cages of ego, and the fear that binds you to a life half-lived. Now, as you stand on the threshold of your inner world, remember that you do not need to have it all figured out. All you need is the courage to step forward, to let your inner voice guide you, even when it tells you to simply rest, to watch the waves on the shore, to be content with the quiet beauty of your own presence. In that space, where the mind falls silent and the heart takes over, you will find a communion with existence that is far deeper than any answer can ever be. Trust in the mystery, trust in the unknown, and let yourself be carried away on a journey that is as unpredictable as it is magnificent. For it is only when you relinquish your need to control every detail that you will truly learn how to live. And in living, you will find that even death is but a gentle transition, a return to the infinite, where the whole mystery of existence unfolds in one eternal, breathtaking moment.